Well, it may have taken an extra period to do so, but the Air Force Academy Falcons win this one today in overtime by the score of 12-11. Danny Bellissimo, I'm going to tell you right now, who would you pick as player of the game? So many heroes, so many plays made, and the Air Force Academy Falcons get their first W of the year over Stony Brook. And what a match we had.
You know, the player of the game, I mean, it's, just open up the media guide and point to somebody today. Obviously, Aiden Tolan buried the last one, which has got us going home today. But, I'm partial to goalies, and I'm going to say Nolan Parlett coming in cold in the second half, putting the team on his back, and basically holding a real strong offense from Stony Brook to only 3 goals in the second half.
Well, I'll tell you what, that would be hard to argue. And for those of you that may have come in late, he was in relief of Quinn Richards and carried the team. Let's take a look at the final statistics.
Yeah, the big one, if you had told me this was going to happen when we first showed up today, I would have said, nope, you're wrong. But face-offs, 16-10. Jake Knapp just showed up today and said, you know what, I'm going to change the script that we've had for the past couple of seasons. I'm going to go out and I'm going to win at the dot and get us some possessions.
And, of course, you look at the turnovers and the ground balls, and I'll tell you what, Air Force winning that category, Danny, but I think it was where they came, the opportunities where they came, where they said, wait a minute, loose ball, that's mine.
Yep, absolutely. Nothing says you're a tougher team and you're hustling more than what the ground ball total is going to be at the end of the game. And the other thing is the turnovers. We saw it at halftime, right? Air Force was getting smoked in the turnover game, and look, we end up the game 15-12. So Air Force cleaned up that offense and was able to get the W.
Well, right now we are unable to really, as we take a look at some of the highlights, as the third verse is being played down there at the Air Force sideline. But let's take a look at some of the highlights. And I would have to say, Danny, that a lot of the scoring, they were able to distribute it fairly evenly today, I think.
Yeah, Air Force scored all over the place. Stony Brook right there with a nice little feed, nice little quick stick that was able to sneak in between the pipe and Quinn's leg there.
Their big man, of course, was the man we've been talking about, Dylan Palinetti. He finished with 4 on the day. There's a big score by number 14, Luke Versansky.
And this is just a hustle play. He picked up a ground ball in the alley that he dropped, and he just drove to the cage and put it in.
Luke with that nice little jump shot, if you will. And Stony Brook was not about to let things go. Watch this shot by the freshman. This kid made, I think, maybe the shot of the day. That's Ryan Barker we're talking about out of Ontario, Canada. He just found his way through traffic and put it in the can.
Yep, I would say shot of the day maybe for them, but that was my favorite shot. Just sweeping across the top, putting that lefty laser into the top corner like his name was Conrad Lahaki.
And, of course, we talked about Palinetti. Look at that. From the port side, wham. That's a fastball right down the pipe.
And right there, that's just good old-school lacrosse. Look at this overhand shot, low and away corner. That's how you score goals.
That's exactly right. But for the Falcons,
brick wall.
And there is the man, and I have to agree with you on this one, Danny. Nolan Parlett, what a performance he had in the goal today. Made the plays when he had to. Here's another one.
Yep, absolutely. There are just some days where you go out as a goalie and the ball looks like a beach ball.
And that is the final goal, and why not? How fitting that it should come off the stick of one of the tri-captains. And that is Aiden Tolan, who wraps it up for the Air Force today, 12-11. Let's make that the shot of the day right there. Barker made a great one, as you said. For them, it was the shot of the day. For Air Force, it was certainly the Tolan finish there as the Falcons now go to 1-3 and will head to Philadelphia for their next match. Well, folks, I'll tell you, I don't know what you do for an encore, but we'll be taking a break. We'll be back on the 16th as Queens, as we will be starting ASUN conference play, and for our entire Falcon Vision crew. And we thank everybody for joining us today on ESPN1. We thank you so much for watching Air Force Lacrosse And we bid you a pleasant good afternoon from Falcon Stadium at the United States Air Force Academy.